probably the second best field out of any of the MTEs. I know the Fort Myers tip-off, which we're actually not going to cover in this one, has Michigan State and UNC, but that's really it as far as that one's concerned. So yeah, I think the battle for Atlantis, which like we talked about off the top, features Colorado State, Wichita State, VCU, Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt, St. Mary's, South Florida, and Western Kentucky. Am I missing anyone? That should be them all, right?
Virginia Tech, did you say them?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got them.
You got all of them.
Yeah, so got them all. Obviously, a bunch of teams that we're very familiar with. Really a bunch of really good mid-majors. Vandy, who's whatever, and on the rise in the ACC, Virginia Tech team, who has a guard that's drawing comparisons to Luka Doncic. Supposed to be a lottery pick, so nice to see a school like Virginia Tech start to build themselves back up. But really, a lot of great mid-major teams in this one. Obviously, A10 foe VCU is going to be without Christian Fermin, who's taking a leave of absence. So hopefully things are all good on that front. But again, this is just an absolutely loaded VCU team. I said when I watched them play NC State, my biggest takeaway was that they were going to beat Loyola by a gazillion. But yeah, I'm excited for this one, particularly that first round matchup with can I get it back in front of me now? VCU and South Florida.
Yeah, that should be a great game. I think VCU, I don't know, we saw them last year, and then they failed to do anything in the tournament. They lost in the first day last year. But I think they're, once again, probably the best team in the Atlantic 10. They're just so deep. Every year they're just so deep. They've got 7 guys who are averaging at least 8.5 points per game and at least 20 minutes per game. So I love this VCU team. Every single year, I know they, Bamasil and the kid he transferred from Utah State, Max, I think something. Do you remember?
Max Shulga.
Yeah, Shulga.
Celtics legend, yeah. Current Celtic.
Yeah. And I know that they're both gone, but Phil Martelli, I think he's doing a good job. I know that that's a job where it is kind of a stepping stone job, and usually the VCU is just able to create talent every single year, and he's done a good job so far this season. So VCU is really the team that I am looking at here. Obviously, St. Mary's, they're a very good team in the West Coast Conference. They're always in the tournament, so I think they're probably second for me here. And then Colorado State, we just saw them. They look really good against us. And Wichita State, 2 teams that we just saw. Loyola play, and Loyola get beat badly by. They're going to be good. I think, even though, again, it doesn't feature the heavy hitters, there's a lot of really good teams here. A lot of teams with tournament aspirations, I think, with the exception of Western Kentucky. I don't know too much about the Hilltoppers, but I feel like they're kind of the odd man out here.
Yeah, and Phil Martelli, I think he did a really good job kind of rebuilding this roster, obviously with Ryan Odom jumping ship and heading to Virginia to try to rebuild a Cavalier team that just hasn't really been the same since, what the hell is his name? The coach, Tony Bennett.
Bennett, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that escaped me when it was right on the tip of my tongue, but obviously right now being led by Jadarian Tracy, who I believe also falls into that how the hell does this guy still have eligibility remaining, started out at St. Joe's all the way back in 2020, 2021, then transferred over to Oregon after playing just 2 games in the 21-22 season, but
Crazy.
He's leading the way for the Rams. Obviously, we're going to get into all our A10 stuff once we get closer to conference play in the next month or so, but right now, Tracy, 13 points per game, 40, we'll call it 45, it's 44.8% from beyond the arc, and then obviously, Martelli coming over from Bryant is bringing some of his Bryant players with him, Barry Evans being one of them. Last year for the Bulldogs, he averaged 13 points per game and 6 rebounds, 2 assists, so obviously senior there, making the step up into some tougher competition, but hasn't seemed to bother him too much. VCU they're a really good team, and like I said, Virginia Tech coming off of what appears to be a bounce back year for them, St. Mary's coming in. South Florida, a team that Loyola has seen a whole heck of a lot in the last 2 years. They're another solid mid-major, but I really like this field, like I said. I think it doesn't have the big hitters. It has the one team that you're kind of like circling, trying to knock off, and I'm sure VCU doing that more. Then some of the other teams there is obviously it's a bit of a rivalry game for them, but we can dive into these predictions here. First round, I've got Vandy over Western Kentucky, VCU over South Florida. Ultimately, like I said, I think these might be the two of the three best teams, definitely two of the four best teams in the entire bracket here, so it kind of sucks that they have to see each other in the first round. I've got Virginia Tech edging out Colorado State, and then St. Mary's over Wichita. In the semifinals, I've got VCU over Vandy and St. Mary's over Virginia Tech, setting up a mid-major banger in the championship. And I've got the Rams of VCU over St. Mary's.
I like it. Mine is very, very similar. I've also got Vandy beating Western Kentucky. I've got VCU over South Florida. I've got Colorado State taking down Virginia Tech. I'm guessing that would be an upset, but really like what I saw from Farouk Manesh's team when we played them just over a week ago, or I guess a week ago to the day. So I got Colorado State over Virginia Tech, St. Mary's over Wichita. Give me VCU over Vandy. And then, where am I here? Yep, give me Colorado State. I think St. Mary's takes down Colorado State. And then I've got VCU taking down St. Mary's to win this tournament. So pretty much the same exact picks aside from I've got Colorado State and you got Virginia Tech.